My name is Tim Brooks. I'm Director of Vendor Management with Tech Systems, and today I'm going to be speaking with Jack Wagner from 3Mil ID, and we're going to be talking about secure credentials and security of the communications path from the reader to the panel, so the entire process of having a secure credential and secure communications. So Jack, talk a little bit about a proximity card versus a secure card or smart card and what makes them different.
Yeah, proximity cards were created in the 1990s for access purposes. So you would use a proximity card that would have a format, a facility code, and a card number for the strict reason of getting into a building. Now versus a secure smart credential, which can hold more data, it has more memory, to where outside of just the access portion of the card, you can write other things to the card because it has memory. So whether that's logical access or payment options or a secure encryption, which can be written to a smart card.
So the difference between the older technology, Prox technology, and the newer smart card technology, it's a different chipset, and then there's a different way of securing it. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, with smart cards, you're able to actually program a secure envelope onto them because they have higher memory. So that's going to be a mutual authentication that's done between the smart card and the card reader that's able to read that high-frequency secure envelope. So that's what's going to make the secure credential more secure than Prox, because Prox is broadcasted in the clear at 125 kilohertz that even a freshman at an engineering university could clone. So the mutual authentication between the card and the card reader is going to be the handshake security behind the card.
So secure credentials, there's multiple formats from multiple manufacturers. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, there's a few different chipsets. There's some include MyFair, Desfire, Legic, iClass, and that's going to be the bulk of secure credentials.
But they're all independent.
They are, yep, and they're going to be 13.56 megahertz versus a proximity card, which is 125 kilohertz.
So that's what's known as a high-frequency card.
That is going to be the high-frequency, the radio frequency card, yes, exactly.
And so do these cards from the different manufacturers, they're all incompatible?
So the secure envelope that I spoke about earlier, that you are able to program onto a smart card because it has more memory, that is going to be paired with the card reader manufacturer that you want to go with.
So that's unique for that particular manufacturer?
Yes, there's a bunch of different secure envelopes that exist today that, like for the access control world in the card and card reader industry, card reader manufacturers will have their own secure envelope that would pair with their cards. That are programmed onto a secure Desfire card, for example, to where the mutual authentication would be done at the card reader.
So let's say an organization is still using older proximity technology and they want to migrate. Can you talk about the path to migrate?
Yeah, sure. So the migration process is basically you're weeding out the proximity cards either at a slow pace or an immediate pace where you do it all at once. We suggest getting away from the proximity cards as they are fully compromised, and as security professionals, whether it is a security integrator or a manufacturer like ourselves, it is our duty to get you off of those cards. Something I didn't mention earlier is you can actually take that proximity card to a local grocery store and get it cloned. So we don't want that anymore. What you're going to do is you need a card reader that's going to be able to read both the low-frequency proximity cards and the high-frequency secure credential, whether that's Desfire or another technology. That way you can migrate from the proximity card to the Desfire card. You can either do that by using a dual technology card, which is going to have both proximity and Desfire in the card, to where as you phase out the proximity-only readers and start to install a reader that can do proximity and high frequency, you can also use a dual technology card as you start to get rid of the proximity readers. Then once you have all readers in your facility that can do the high frequency. You will turn off the low frequency in the multi-technology reader, and then deploy a single technology high frequency card that will get you away from the compromised low frequency technology and on a secure credential.
Very good. So the other topic is the communication path and securing that.
Yeah. So once you've moved fully off of proximity cards and you're on a secure credential, what more is there to do? So you need to secure yourself from reader to panel. So the wiring scheme that we've been using for the last 20, 30 years has been Wiegand. It's actually been around for even longer than that, the Wiegand protocol, but it's unsecure now. So you can actually put a device on the Wiegand wire and catch the card data coming down the wire. A bad actor could then figure out card data to get in.
So the modern solution to that is what's known as OSDP, correct?
Yep, OSDP wiring. It's the brand new SIA protocol, much more secure. It's just a few different wirings than Wiegand. And then basically 6 wires with Wiegand, 4 wires with OSDP, RS-485. Most panels can handle it, and most manufacturers are heading towards being able to handle it because it is a protocol now. And basically, you're going to be more secure from the reader to the panel versus Wiegand, like I said, where you can actually catch those the card data coming down the line.
So we know with the new with a high frequency secure credential going to the reader, then from the reader to the panel via OSDP, you've secured the whole process from the card to the panel.
Yeah, so we call it end-to-end security. So once you have a secure credential and you have a reader that can wire OSDP, a reader and a panel that can handle OSDP, yes, you're going to have full end-to-end security from that card to the panel. So that our job as a card reader manufacturer and a card manufacturer is finished there for the time being with the latest and greatest innovation in card and card reader security.
So lastly, if the facility or a client is going to be changing out their readers, would they need to change out the wiring from the reader to the panel as well, or just move to the OSDP over the existing wiring?
We suggest that you want to at least have a card reader that is OSDP compliant, that can read proximity technology, that can read a higher security technology, and then at some point when you're ready, wire OSDP.
So full new wiring.
Yeah. So it's you actually would have the same wires that would wire into the proximity reader. You would just wire it differently.
Okay, so they don't have to run new wiring.
Don't have to run new wiring. No. It's just a rewire of the existing wire. Yep, and that's your first line of defense. So you think of a traditional building, the first line of defense is going to be that outer perimeter with the card readers. So you want to make sure that you have that finished before you go in and start looking at cameras and all the other stuff, because that's going to be your first line.
And you'll have a secure credential and a secure communication path, so the entire, as you call it, end-to-end security.
End-to-end security, where you wouldn't be able to get a bad actor who could take a card and get it cloned, and then also catch the card data coming down your wiring line. And we also suggest you would turn proximity technology off in the card reader, because the secure card might be programmed just like a proximity card, even though the mutual authentication is going on between the card and the reader. You want to make sure that low frequency, the low frequency is turned off in the card reader. That way, someone couldn't just use a prox card on your card readers.
I'd like to thank Jack for this very informative session on secure credentials and secure communication, end-to-end security. For more information, please feel free to reach out to any of us at Tech Systems. We'll be happy to discuss this in more detail. And I look forward to seeing you again on another video in the future.